Welcome back to Must Play Reviews. I had no intention of playing Mortal Kombat 1, but when it went on to PlayStation Plus recently, I decided to give it a shot, and I'm glad I did, but not for the reasons you probably think. It's not really a great Mortal Kombat game, but Mortal Kombat 1 made me laugh. It hits that B-movie level of awkwardness. Think Sharknado. One of the first things that I noticed is Johnny Cage is doing the little Nicky face, and he does it a lot, and he even sounds like him too. All I could think the entire time that he was going to sit there and start talking about how much he loves Popeye's chicken. And what's even stranger, he isn't the only one. Shang Tsung does this too. It's so bad and awkward looking that you just can't help but laugh at it. But one of the biggest complaints when this game was released that it was DEI heavy. And some of that is there. Especially with the DLC, you have things like Cyrax and Sector being swapped to women. I don't know why you would ever change a legacy character like that. You wouldn't make Lara Croft into Lawrence Croft. Nobody would want to buy it. And it's kind of the same here. There was also talk about weird body shapes. And I don't think that's just politics. I think some of it comes down to them wanting uniformity for esports. And it could have been done for easier development too, but that easy path leads to the awkwardness that you see here. In modern fighting games, they want everything to be perfectly balanced. They need the hitboxes to be identical, so the pros don't complain about it. Instead, they should be focusing on fun, not making the pro community happy, because perfectionists are never happy. And that uniformity is very noticeable. Every single female character in the game is fighting in high heels. Katana, Melina, Tanya, Sindel, all of them. And I don't think it's a fashion choice. The female face models were probably scanned from women that are about 5'4", but the male fighters in the game are 6-footers easily. And if they put them in the game at their real height, a high punch would just go right over their heads, so they slapped on heels and stretched them up. If you stand Katana next to Sub-Zero, her hips are almost at his belly button. That shows you that the model was a much smaller woman, and it creates this weird long-legged, short torso look. And then they went and took the small torso and made it fit a wide universal hitbox, and a basic skeletal system that all of the characters use. They had to stretch her width-wise. Basically, they all have the same cardboard body with a different head. That's why they look boxy. They prioritize balance over aesthetics and creativity. This is also why the faces don't fit the bodies. Then on top of that, you have a different voice actor, which is where they get the mocap data for the facial animations. The bone structure of the model doesn't match that of the actor. There's only one company that does this correctly, and that's Capcom. They used to make characters based on silhouettes. Even if they were blacked out, you could know who they were based on their shape. It was all about the lines, the art, and the design. Something that stood out from the crowd and could stand the test of time. Now it's just to prioritize balance for pro gamers and capture a little bit of realism with it. It just doesn't work. And it's not just the faces and the bodies. When the characters run in a cutscene, they all use the same goofy running animation like they're on treadmills. When you have graphics that are kinda realistic and this detailed, all it takes is just for one little thing to be off and it sticks out 10 times more. It's jarring because the capital city and Outworld is just stunning. The game is absolutely beautiful at times. But you have these incredible environments populated by people who look like they were stretched out action figures. So, now for the gameplay. Is it the best? No, and it's also not the worst. Now, I'm not a fighting game expert. I don't pay attention to frame data or optimal juggles. For me, it's basic. I'm just here for the fun, not the high-end technical stuff. From that perspective, the gameplay does still have its strengths. Uppercuts feel great, drop kicks feel good, and the X-ray attacks are just as gruesome as ever. Now, the big change in this one was the cameo system. At first, I thought it was going to make it a tag team fighter, and I don't care for those, but the way they do it here is not bad. Thankfully, it is not a tag team fighter. Instead, you just summon somebody in to help you fight for a split second. The other thing that they removed was the Krypt. I love the Krypt. I thought it was so much fun to go through, solve the puzzles, and explore that world. You used your coins to buy chests that unlock the history of Mortal Kombat, concept art, and anything else. That is gone now. It's just been replaced by some boring menu system. So basically you're left with 3 modes: Towers of Time, Online Multiplayer, and Story Mode. Now, I do recommend the story mode if you want to have a good time just to enjoy it for the goofy B movie that it is. As for online multiplayer, them dudes know what they're doing and I don't want to mess with that struggle. Towers of Time is of course your basic arcade mode and it's still pretty good. It's nothing special, but it does give you a story ending for each character. I really don't know what they were thinking with this game. There is a lack of care and detail with the characters that we haven't seen before in Mortal Kombat. So it's a weird change. I would say if you're gonna play Mortal Kombat 1, play it on PlayStation Plus. Or find it on a very deep discount, that way you can have something to laugh at. But if it wasn't on PS Plus, this game was a pass for me. Let me know in the comments if you're gonna play or pass. Thanks for watching, would you kindly leave a like and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later.